Right, the Grizzco blaster is, from the looks of it, an illegally modified vanilla blaster that operates basically as if the Clash blaster and the .52 gal had a child. Wait, this is the paint, there is no ink lag whatsoever, there is no ink recovery lag too. So this is actually pretty much the most mobile blaster of them all. It's basically a shooter with blaster projectiles. Paint is really good as well. It's not quite as good as the range, obviously. The ink efficiency is like, I mean, it's but you see this does empty its tank faster than most of the shooters. Like, don't be too spammy with this. Make sure to swim enough, then you'll be fine. The indirects that do 35 damage, direct 50 damage. Means you're actually not one-shotting small fries with it or rush charm. The two-shotting, the fire rate is so fast, it's 9 frames per shot. It's in fact exactly the same as the .52 gal. Then also the 50 damage comparison to the 2 means it has slightly lower single target damage per second. But the effective DPS is exactly the same because it's 2 extra, like, why do they matter really? Absolutely nowhere, pretty much. So yeah, that is why I'm mentioning that weapon. Okay, even though the numbers might not look good unless as like you have this AoE in the fire rate, so I mean this is one of the best lesser clearers in the game. Very ugly. Except for cohorts. It still take a while to get through them. I mean it's not the end of the world. Yeah, it's less appreciated when the weapons have them still. Let's talk about this then. To hit first, you ideally wanna hit it with a bunch of directs. That is like there's a different way to do indirects only that has worked in the old game. I have not yet confirmed whether it still works or not. It would be to with indirects only, but for literally all the frames of its attack animation. That may or may not still work. Yeah, let's assume it doesn't and just try to hit with directs in some form or fashion, then you should usually have it. Okay, you need to always be close enough or else you might be failing that one cycle. It's rather tricky with this. Other HP bosses not much to say, you do damage and they go down eventually. You can one cycle Drizzlers with this, but of course you need to be there in time. Not much leeway. DPS is lower than a splatter shot. Yeah, that will be HP bosses, and then statics. You can take down stingers pretty fast, but you do need to get close to them. At blaster, you're hitting multiple shots. You do need multiple shots, not one shot or anything. No damage. Fish sticks. You just aim up pretty much like a Clash blaster and as they're flying around, they fly into your blasts and you just get them. No need to claim or anything. But flyfish, you just grab them, and once you have good mobility and you can just like, well, it's not great, it's decent enough, so with many golden weapon comes. If you don't have a Grizzco slasher, but like they or something. For sure, nothing special there. Right, that brings us to the night waves. Night waves, there's actually quite some stuff to say here. Like, I know you may have noticed for day waves, this operates mostly like a shooter with attributes, really. For night waves, this is actually interesting. First up, rush, you wanna be like the one that stands ahead or above the enemies and filters at the front lines. There is also a different way to do it than just hold ZR, that would be to tap ZR like that. But there's a way to actually save your ink, like when you're low on ink you can do that to like refill while shooting a bit actually. They are doing this for a while. Side changes. Yeah, side changes again. Especially on Maruna's Bay, where the sides are pretty much all the same. Will not actually get much refilling time or anything, and then you may just do this. However, especially at higher hazards, will definitely mean that some chumps will get through, so other teammates watch for that. I'm filtering will not pick up this, I think. Yeah, until like fission would never actually come to play because you really get enough refill. And of course, the other thing is you cannot be on all sides at once on maps where it actually splits for real. So, ideally divide the filtering between our best results. Like what you would do with this is focus one side and the spawns on left on like two sides, really. That's but not all three. When there's nothing on them, stuff like that. But make sure you are actually everything to the best of your ability. Then of course when you get aggroed with this, then and make sure you can retreat in time as well. When that happens, of course teammates need to make sure that someone else does the filtering and that you actually get defended and stuff. Definitely something to pay attention to. People do get it a lot. Right, that's Rush. Let's talk about gorillas. You make the primary role is to make sure that small threats do not exist. And also help with the stunning. Like aiming to the side of approaching gorillas, where you will hit the tail with indirects, some damage. It's easier for others to run up once the tail exposes itself. Yeah, that is pretty much gorillas, and when it's done, just hit it with directs for DPS. It's not gonna be much. In golden rotations, so there can be some comps that have trouble DPSing it. Like green randomizer rotations with this thing too, obviously. You will have enough time to deal with a small phrase once the gorillas down. Unless they are literally already everywhere, then by all means, like, clear them. They need to be controlled, of course, and that is your role here. So those are the two most important waves for the Grizzco blaster. For the other's mothership, not ideal, but it looks what they have left sometimes. You don't need to get killed. So yeah, it does it better than the slasher for sure still. But on that, hopefully you will have long range weapons and hopefully they'll shoot down things. It pretty much operates the same as your usual weapon on it. Moth, Seeking Tornado, deal with lasers, throw eggs, all that stuff. Yes, especially on Seeking, deal with lasers. Pretty much independently of comp, but for Moth and for Tornado, do the comps. You might have a sword, you might have like multiple buckets or stuff like that. It depends what's ideal there. Right, that covers the night waves as well. That's all I have to say about the Grizzco blaster.